Am I the asshole for not helping out my mom with Sunday lunch mostly to make a point? My brother and I are 3 years apart. He is older. Both of us work, in a relationship, and live away from home, so we are on pretty equal footing. The thing is that I help out my mom a lot when it comes to cooking and cleaning the kitchen afterwards when we have lunches or dinners together. I'm always more than happy to help out. I like cooking, of course, but it's the fact that I feel like I should because they are my parents and I should help them. My brother, well, he literally does nothing when we do these meals together. He comes, does a bit of talking with mom and dad, then sits on the couch until the meal is ready. He might help bring dishes to and from the kitchen if he is prompted by my SIL, but that barely happens. Last week we got back from a week vacation all together, where brother sat and worked. When I say work, he was working on his schedule for this coming year. He did not have any pending work for his actual job, on his tablet. Literally no help at all. He saw us carrying stuff around, prepping the meals, chopping stuff, and just stood there. His reaction when it is ever brought up in any kind of way is to laugh it off and make a joke, and so no one ever takes it seriously. And my mom especially annoys me because she doesn't ever tell him to move his ass and help out. Like very rarely have I ever heard her tell him to help out. But when it comes to me, immediately once I get to my parents' house she tells me, I need you to do X, Y, Z now, help me prep this dish. Go set the table, clean those dishes, clear the balcony. To a point it's fine, because like I said, I don't need to be told to help out, I just do. So many times, I've come to my parents' house and just cooked them lunch unprompted. Today we had lunch together, and I was actually not really feeling that great, so I just helped out with a few dishes, and then went to sit down on the couch. My mom immediately came to me and asked, why aren't you helping out? And immediately started telling me I had to this for her for lunch, and telling me if I don't help out, we don't get lunch done. I got irritated and answered back that she doesn't ever ask my brother to help out when he comes straight to the couch when he gets here for basically free food, and it's annoying. My mom says I was being petty, but I held my ground and did basically nothing to help out with lunch. My mom did leave me alone and made me feel like I am being unreasonable. Whenever I talk about different sexist expectations for men and women, everyone around me just kind of scoffs and rolls their eyes. But how is this not the case? Sure, my mom did leave me to be lazy today, but I still feel like I am always expected to help out like it is my obligation, but my brother comes carrying one dish from the kitchen, and OMG he is helping out, how helpful. Not the asshole. If it were me, I wouldn't be going to too many more family lunches/dinners. Stop going. Tell her you're not your brother's maid. Either you can be waited on hand and foot too, or you both are expected to pitch in and help equally. My mother did this too. She stopped after telling me to load the dishwasher, to which I said something along the lines of, don't tell me, I don't live here. And one of her sisters, who was visiting, said, it's true, she doesn't, when mom looked at her for help. Edit, not the asshole. Not the asshole. I find it upsetting when I am reminded there are people who think it is appropriate for women to be servile and for men to be lazy and or carefree. It will be facile to suggest you stop going to the parents' place for lunch, or that you distance yourself from your family whose expectations deny you your values, or that you are the problem for recognizing and bridling against inequity in your family system. There is likely no easy way to dislodge your brother from the pedestal on which he has been placed, nor a simple solution to the cultural or familial conditioning that is in play. And that is why I love your approach. Not the asshole, but it doesn't matter how many times you bring up the subject. Nothing will change your mom is enabling your brother. Info. Are you willing to start skipping these family meals until your mom is willing to expect equal help? Am I the asshole for not cleaning up sheets which have been wet by a child that's not mine? My boyfriend has a daughter, 6, and we have her every other weekend. She's really started testing boundaries recently and defying us, mainly me, and being generally disrespectful. It's meant we've had a really hard weekend with her, and we've had to work hard on keeping up with her attitude and behavior around the house, as we all share it, and she needs to learn she doesn't own it, and that there are consequences to disrespect. She's left tonight, and I've been at work all day. Just nipped upstairs and figured I would close her bedroom door 'cause she's away, and we will start tidy up and washing everything later in the week. When I leant in to grab the door, I was met with the most disgusting smell. Upon further inspection, she's wet the bed. I also know that her wetting the bed and not telling us is another issue in and of itself, so we will deal with that in our own way. Now, I've not had kids of my own, and even though that is definitely on the cards, I am a long way off it. I've made it clear to my boyfriend that there are things I will not do as I am not equipped to deal with them. And for me, cleaning this up and sorting it falls within that remit. He asked me to clean it, as he is gaming. I said no, and tried to explain, but he cut me off and made it into a huge argument. I understand that I live here too, but I have made it clear that I will not deal with bodily functions or fluids of any kind when it comes to her. I'm still at that point in my life where I see kids as a little gross, and even though I've made steps, it's not enough for this. Am I the asshole for not just cleaning it up? Too long did not read. Boyfriend's daughter wet the bed, and I didn't clean it up, so it started an argument. Am I the asshole? Not the asshole. He can't clean it up because he's gaming? How helpful is he as a father otherwise? You might want to look closely at this before you consider having children of your own with this person. Not the asshole as it's your boyfriend's responsibility for his child, but reading through your comments, it doesn't sound like you like her that much. If you don't want to be a parent and deal with kids, you shouldn't date a single dad. Not the asshole, it's your boyfriend's job. But you definitely are the a-hole in regards to your attitude towards that kid. Don't date men with kids. Esh. He should clean up, but it sounds like you aren't interested in being her stepmom, which comes with living with a person with a child, whether 2 days or 100% of the time. You are the asshole not necessarily for this single situation, but for the fact that you are in a relationship with a man you know has a kid while you say that you can't deal with kids and find them gross. For the child's sake, I really hope you will rethink this relationship. Is it possible the child is acting out because you have made it clear that you find the child gross? Everyone sucks here but this kid. It's meant we've had a really hard weekend with her, and we've had to work hard on keeping up with her attitude and behavior around the house, as we all share it, and she needs to learn she doesn't own it, and that there are consequences to disrespect. Yeah, you're not a parent. This isn't your lane. I'm still at that point in my life where I see kids as a little gross, and even though I've made steps, it's not enough for this. Then why are you dating a man with kids? There's supposed to be a package deal when it's a good dad. Would I be the asshole if I changed the password on my PS5 so my husband can't play it? I'm a gamer girl. I've owned every PlayStation system since one. When the PS5 came out, I saved up to buy it for myself. Unboxing it, I explained to my children, then 2, 5, and 6, that it is mine, they are not allowed to play it. I have it mounted to the wall 7 feet off the ground, and they understand they can't play it. I found out my husband has been allowing them to play GTA on it while I'm at work. I told him to stop. He continually called me selfish for wanting something the kids can't play with, telling me I am an asshole because it should be a family entertainment system, and it's for kids anyway. I again told him as a mother my children have all they need. They have broken 4 Nintendo Switches, and everything they touch becomes sticky. I have one thing for just me, and that's allowed. He has now been messaging me repeatedly telling me that I'm so wrong for keeping it from them. Gaming is apparently a huge part of their development. They do play games on tablets, phones, and computers like Minecraft, Roblox, and Pokemon. Age-appropriate games. All of my PlayStation games are essentially FPS games that are not age-appropriate anyway. I told him if it happens again, I will change the password so he can't play it. Would I be the asshole if I do? ETA. The console is in my husband and I's bedroom. I play it when they are sleeping. They had my old PS4 in their room and broke it as well. It's not in a shared part of the house, taunting them all day. My husband doesn't really play video games, but I've never had an issue with him using it, but have always told him it's not for everyone to play. Why on earth would your husband let children that young play GTA anyway? Not the asshole, but with everything happening on it, get them off Roblox. No kids should be playing GTA at 6 years old, period. Not the asshole. How did they break 4 Switches? After the second one broke, you kept buying them new ones? Why? Not the asshole. If he cares so much, he can buy them their own console to share. Your things are yours. He can't dictate who gets to use it, especially when you paid for it yourself. Not the asshole, and you need to have a chat about how your kids will develop if their mom and dad can't get on the same page. Undermining you and talking down about your decisions to your kids isn't doing any favors for their future or the future of your marriage. Am I the asshole for wanting my partner to help pay for her engagement ring? I proposed to my partner about a year ago. I bought her a ring I thought fit her style and taste perfectly, and she was thrilled with it. The proposal itself was in Lauterbrunnen, Switzerland, highly recommended if you've never been, and the whole thing was really special. There was just one small issue. The ring was a bit loose. Since I had bought it abroad, I couldn't bring it back to the same jeweler for resizing. We agreed we'd take it to a local jeweler, but almost a year went by, and she never actually went to get it adjusted. Fast forward to a few weeks ago. While playing with our dog in the woods, the ring slipped right off her finger and disappeared. We spent days searching with metal detectors and every tool we could think of, but it was gone. Naturally, I want to get her a new ring. She misses it, and I don't want her to go without something that holds that kind of meaning. But here's the problem. She seems to expect me to cover the entire cost again. From my perspective, I was hoping she'd at least offer to contribute this time. On top of that, her friends keep asking when she's getting another ring, which adds more pressure and paints me like this selfish a hole. So am I the asshole for expecting her to share in the expense? I know part of this is on me for not nailing the size in the first place, but I couldn't exactly be obvious since she already suspected a proposal. Plus, buying abroad complicated things with sizing differences. Edit. Big thanks to everyone sharing their opinions/feedback. A lot of people are asking about insurance. Honestly, we are not very much into bling or expensive jewelry. Although this is probably the most expensive piece of jewelry she ever owned, I think some people might be overestimating how much money I spent on it. Insurance therefore never crossed my mind, considering my inexperience when it comes to jewelry combined with it not being crazy expensive. Not the asshole, who keeps wearing an expensive ring that is too loose. She should have gotten it resized as soon as she got home. This is on her. She should at least pay for half, since you and she are supposedly about to mingle your finances and be a team when it comes to expenses. Info: why didn't you insure it when you purchased it? If the two of you can't sort this out together, that's not a great sign for the marriage. Ultimately, any money spent is going to be shared marital assets. Time to start thinking of stuff like this as a shared problem to solve. Any jeweler can resize a ring. She should have had it sized, and you should have insured it. Now you should both share in the replacement cost. He should have insured the ring as soon as it was in his possession and taken the ring to a jeweler to be resized right away. It was careless of her to wear an expensive ring that was loose on dry hands, meaning it did not slip off because her hands were wet or soapy. If it had been me, I would have refused to wear the thing until it was resized for fear of this exact thing happening. You were both dumb. The cost should come out of your joint budget for the wedding or your household. Not the asshole. If I lost my ring, I would feel so guilty and mortified I would definitely offer to split the cost, if not pay for the whole thing. She had a year to get it adjusted, or even buy a $3 ring adjuster off Amazon as a temporary solution, which incidentally is what I have done.